welcome to this video. Over the weekend, which is Saturday today, actually it's Sunday, I've been working on this project and I wipe coded this entire thing using Cursor and Gemini chatbot. I started to use Gemini because I ran out of token on Cursor because I got the free version. I always wanted to build a API tester. I'm a backend engineer. I use this tool a lot. Just wanted to try to build my own, just wipe coded. No coding at all. I let the AI to take over the stuff, and I came up with this, and it's pretty beautiful, and it's very useful. I have to build small things at a time, such as how I want to put the layout, how I want to weave the results, stuff like that. I purposely designed this in a retro fashion because I love retro stuff, and it's pretty nice. Let's say I want to add a request. I would need to create a folder. Now I'm gonna call this like weather API. All right, and the root level I'm gonna store in the root level. And let's say I want to add a API request. Let's say I want to add a new request. I can just say get request. Okay, and I want to put it inside the weather API folder. Here we go. Here's a get request. I found some free request on using ChatGPT. You can call this API. They'll give you a free request. And let me go back to my tool. Let me minimize this, and I can paste that here. And if I have a body, I can enter the body. It can also pop out, and it's where I can enter the body, and I have more space, stuff like that. And by default, it'll come with this particular header, which is application JSON. You can also pop out the window. You can input your headers if you like. Let's say I'm gonna hit it. Here we go. Here's the response, and here you can scroll down or you can pop out. You can see the entire response right here from the request itself. Let's say I want to view a particular field, for example, current units and interval, right? What I need to do is basically, let me copy this, and I need to add extractors, right? Let's say add one. Let's put current unit, right? Current unit interval, right? Okay, I would need to put data dot current unit dot interval. You need to have the data prefix to do that. It just gives you this is like a wrapper around your response. And basically give the value of that particular field. This is the extractors, and let's say I want to add one more. Let's say elevation. I can do the same thing, manage extractors, and I add elevation and elevation. All right, that's the JSON path, data.elevation, and you can see it gives you the exact value of the elevation. And you can switch back between the actual raw response and extractors. You can also see the headers. It's pretty convenient honestly, and I think I find this is very useful for me. I can use this heavily for my personal project. I find it very useful. And unlike Postman and other testers out there, there's a lot of bloatware. You have to there's so many things going on. I just want to build something very simple. That's why I coded this. Actually, I wipe coded. I let the AI to do the job. And let's say, as a backend engineer, sometimes you do some small load testing, right? Load testing is like, running multiple requests at the same time to hit the endpoint. And I have the feature here called runner mode. If you open that, you can also specify how many requests you want to run. Let's say I want to put 10 here. Let's say 5. Let's say I have 2 threads here. Just don't want to overload this free API. And my expected status is 200. Let me start the test. right here. You can see all the iteration, timestamp, and status, and latency between those requests. You can also export the results as a CSV file, and you can, you know, view the results, you know, that has all the data that you need. And I find it's very convenient to have this as right there, because you don't need to search for this particular thing if you want to quickly load test your API or something. And you can also, export, import the curl of this request. Let's say, you want to add more requests, you can import it or export it. And I added some basic themes here, right here. I just gave a random name. It's not, I don't have any I just, whatever it came to me at the time when I was choosing this theme, I just put names for it, like dust. I don't know why I did that. Tree, or maybe it's green. And ocean, because it's blue. Lunch, moon and island. There's so many themes out there. And I really want people to try. I hope people try in this tool and experiment on their own. It's pretty useful tool in my opinion. I really like it, and you know it's a really nice project. I will put my GitHub link on the description. If you guys want to try it out, go ahead. Free to do that. Yep. Thank you.